put some final reactions, man, on the 53-man roster, the finalized version of it, at least for today's finalized version. We'll see how much this changes from now till a week from now when we get ready for opening week. Because, like I said, I do anticipate it being just some movement. But as a whole, I do like where we're at, man. I do feel like between the Desmond King pickup, between the dudes we picked up on the practice squad, we either have our guys in terms of our starters there, or we at least have healthy veteran options that can come in and help us out. Whether that is a Desmond King we've talked about, an Anthony Brown via the P squad we talked about,
right?
Sammy Fajoka, we talked about him as well, man, in terms of just another option, dudes that have played in this league, dudes that have started in this league, getting a chance to come back out here, you know what I mean? So I do like that because unfortunately injuries do happen. You know what I mean? Something is going to happen at some point where, hey, we're going to have to play somebody else out there. You just want to be able to have multiple options or dudes of certain quality to be putting them out there. And I do feel like with this initial roster right now, we got that.
Yeah, the only things that jumped out to me when it first dropped was that we kept this Dylan Cook dude.
Mm-hmm.
Had no clue or even had him on the radar or the bubble that he was potentially going to make the team. But then also the fact that we cut Nick Witkowski. Like that'd probably been my swap. Like if I went in with my projection again and looked at it, like Dylan Cook wouldn't be on, and then Witkowski would be.
Okay.
Especially with us. Remember we cut Tanner Muse?
I do remember that. Yeah. He cut him the earlier.
Yeah, it was like a day before the actual 53 had to be in.
Because he was cut.
So I was like, there was
Nick
no
was
question Witkowski's going to make it now.
Right.
But outside of that, I mean, this looks like a damn good roster to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, really no complaints. I think we have more corners than I thought, especially after trading for Desmond King. So again, I'm still interested in an additional move. Do we drop Elijah Riley, Pierre to practice squad, bring up Witkowski? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, because that is one of the ones for me still. It's like,
have we ever gone into a season with only 4 inside linebackers?
I feel like we have, but we got away with it because we would use TG as like the last like emergency option.
Maybe we're doing that with Keanu now.
Yeah, because he was like technically he could play inside, technically he could play outside, and he was a teamer. So like he was that version. Because if I remember correctly, it was Law Dog, Shea, Vince, and Spence. And then outside it was me, Debo, Jarvis, and Bud. Yeah. And TG was the bonus guy because that was us keeping 9.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they view Keanu Neal like that.
Yeah, TG
which would
was
make
the bonus
sense.
dude. Yep. Because then the year before that, when it was Worlds, it was me, Jarvis, and Worlds. And we only kept 3 initially. And that's when we had Shea, Law Dog, Vince, S2, but he was coming back because he had just came back from the knee injury, and TG. So that would have been 8 that year. Am I missing anyone from that group? No, that was just 8 because Red came in 15 or 16. When was he was around that time when he got here.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. We usually keep 5 of them things, man.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But we'll wait and see till week 1. I mean, if we don't, it's not make or break, in my opinion.
Which I do agree with.
Not at all. I mean, we got our starters. We even got our depth in place.
Do you feel
we're talking about like third options?
Do you feel like Gunner potentially is movable since we do have the double return options now with Calvin and Desmond King?
Right. Yeah, I do.
And knowing that Gunner doesn't have the same value, like I said, at receiver, exclusively as he does when we talk about his versatility. Because that was one of the things I thought of seeing Desmond here.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I do.
Just in the sense of if we're talking about either bringing a Nick back or if we're talking about
opening up a roster spot for someone else. Right.
Because you don't even have to like release Gunner. It could be a simple, I'm going to trade Gunner for a draft pick. You're still getting compensation back, but you're clearing up the roster spot like we did with Kendrick Green. Like we did with Kevin Dotson.
Yep.
So I could definitely potentially see that now that we got 2 legitimate dudes that are returning men. And you still got the emergency doomsday break glass Deontay Johnson element also. In terms of punt return. But think about this. Deontay, in terms of success as a returner, another option. Fair, but in terms of success as a returner, he has had more success than Calvin and Desmond King as a pure return man. He's been all pro with that.
You know what the first step is to returning, though.
Deke, when I was trying to preach it to you back then, and you was like, well, he could run the ball really well with it in his hands. And I'm like, Deke, it doesn't matter if he keeps dropping it or it's not secure. I remember that convo. That's why I said in a doomsday break glass in case of emergency.
I throw Pickens out there.
See, you say that because you've never seen him in stadium having to catch the punts. Same with Deontay. When you watch it in practice, it's easy to do it in practice. When it's in the game and it's pass-fail one time and that's all you get, it's a little bit different, man.
I just can't see a world where Pickens drops a ball.
That's cool.
Punt or catch.
That's cool, man. You said he dropped one last year. You said he dropped the Kenny pass. You was the one that said that
one way or another.
Because it was Kenny. That's why, huh?
Debatable. It did hit his hands.
See what we're talking about.
I thought he could have gave a better effort. That was just him being a little lazy on it, though, I guess. That wasn't based off ability or what he was capable of. I'm trying to look to see anyone else I'd put back there. Oh, I don't trust McFarland.
DJ's my answer, bro. Or Pat P. He's another one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Pat
one.
P's definitely another one.
I like that.
In terms of like if it's an
Connor
situation,
Hayward, he's always reliable. It seems like everything goes right when he's out there.
He returned kicks in college.
Yeah. Maybe I'd throw him in that mix.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be out there and he gonna do exactly what you're supposed to do. He gonna get his little 25 or he gonna fair catch that thing. Yep.
Anything else with the roster here?
No, those are my big things, man.
Would you rather have Gunner or Gentry right now?
That is legit, though. Swear that's legit. I hate to say it, but I would rather have Gentry. Because, like, I'm a fan of Gunner's game.
Just because of us bringing in Desmond King?
Yes, because we brought in Desmond King, and we only have 2 tight ends currently. I would like to add to, like, the legitimate blocking tight end part. Because Moose, we knew he's versatile, but Moose is our receiver tight end. Darnell, he's the new blocking tight end. I still would like to maintain
Connor Hayward, Swiss Army, not necessarily tight end. Right. He's listed as that, but
and Connor's not a bully blocker. Connor's gonna block. Connor's gonna get the job done, but he's not blocking like Darnell or like Gentry would. In line, I can block a DN. In line, I can block an outside linebacker. 1-on-1, not we're scheming at you coming from the backside, getting momentum like just mano-a-mano. Gentry, I know can do that. So that's why for me, I'm like, I think I would rather have him as my bonus. But depending on how they view Gunner, other elements of special team. We talk about how he covers kicks. He doesn't just return kicks. He'll actually go out there and make some tackles. That could be something that they view in contrast to where we said Gentry does not always give you that type of ability. So that could be part of why we do see Gunner still versus Gentry right now.
I think if the Steelers wanted to do it, they don't have to. But there's a swap to make on offense, a swap to make on defense. The one on offense could be Gunner for Gentry. Mm-hmm. And then on defense, it's either like Pierre or Elijah Riley. Get them out and then bring in Kwiatkowski because of Desmond King. Yeah, both moves are actually related to Desmond King, though, if you think about it. Because of what Desmond King could bring to the defense. That's why you can make those defensive swaps, but then also on offense, right? Because he can do special team stuff that Gunner can do. Yeah. So it makes Gunner a little more expendable. Desmond King, underrated signing.
Seriously, man.
Really seriously. Underrated.
I like it, bro.
Because we got it. He
opens up some doors potentially for us.
We got the reason for keeping Gunner with him being the all-pro return man, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, he's Desmond King. Mm-hmm. He's done it too. Yeah. All-pro return man.
Mm-hmm.